Hi friends, MD Vegan. I make a golden milk today, once again, and I have done several versions. The last one was with the usual turmeric and the coconut milk. That's what I mostly do it with, most of the time. Last time I added ginger and cinnamon, and this time I'll add a nutmeg and cloves. Yeah. Show you right away my spices here. Both very interesting, and you see the cloves have very small amount, only 3 or 4 cloves. Yeah, they're small like that and dried, and I ground them with a mortar. There is a very strong flavor here. It's among the most most intense flavor of all the spices, cloves, and it has also nice health benefits. It's used on the gums, for example. I have a toothache, they can be applied there, the cloves. You can put them in the mouth, and they're antibacterial. They can fight inflammation, and can also be good against cancer in the stomach and all these kind of things. Very good health benefits. And nutmeg is similar, more for the head, and for also helps with digestion, yeah. And it is also a very strong flavor, but mostly it goes together with other flavors. For example, like here the nutmeg goes very nicely with the cloves together, and is not so much on its own, can also do, but very nice also the mellower flavor. It's also astringent here, it's sweet and bitter here, the cloves at the same time, very many flavors in there, and this is more bitter, yeah, or I don't know, sweet maybe too. I don't know how to describe. They're very intense flavors. Either way, nutmeg can even be toxic. Yeah, it can even be psychedelic. Yeah, that is very strong effects it can have, but not as strong as other drugs. It's still very useful, and I always use it in small quantities, and it's very helpful. But you can't eat too much of it. Nutrition Facts, for example, says it has a 2 or 3 tablespoons the toxic dose. So I have half a tablespoon and half a teaspoon. I have half a teaspoon, so 2 or 3 teaspoons are toxic. I have half a teaspoon that goes on a liter of milk. So it's very little, and don't drink that much of the milk. Just one big glass full of that milk. I drink that is a very little bit of. Most important is the flavor here. I want to try that to make it more interesting. Together with the turmeric, of course, that is the main flavor here. That is the turmeric. And just to remind you, it's pretty well known here, the turmeric is this orange, this brilliant bright orange color. You see, everybody knows that from the curry spice. The color from the curry spice comes from the mixture, comes from that part here, from the turmeric. And the curcumin, that is the substance that's really effective, most effective. The curcumin, it has really huge benefits. It's one of the most beneficial spices we have. There are thousands, literally, of studies made how to make this work in the body. You can even cure cancer with it. With the turmeric, that good anti-inflammatory effects. And but for own medication, it wouldn't work, because you need so much. To eat so much, you can't eat it. Practically, it's not possible. You have to take a medication. If you want to cure that with your doctor together, you have a cancer or something, you have to. I would recommend always to go to a doctor, and then you have the medication with a real high doses. Yeah, this little bit of turmeric would never be enough for that. Yeah, you have to do it every day over a long period of time, together with the doctor, of course, to find out. That's what the clinical studies found out about it. There's so many studies, I told you. So, but it has to be used anyway to make it work anyway for inflammation. That's a very good remedy. It works on that very strongly. The Indians eat in so many dishes. They have the turmeric in. They have an ancient knowledge of spices and how they work. The plants at all in India. There's a very long tradition called Ayurveda. It's knowledge of life, of the healthy life, the knowledge of life that makes you healthy and keeps you healthy. It's all connected to plants and how to use them and how to prepare them and these kind of things. It's huge, very interesting. And of course turmeric is very important from there. All the spices, all the knowledge comes from India basically, what we have here, most of it. Many other cultures have been influenced from times, and turmeric is one of them, one of the most important ones. And to make it work, we need fat. That is important. Otherwise, it can't even begin to work in the system. It will be washed out of the system without fat. Or black pepper. It's also possible to use black pepper to make it work. How that works, it's complicated to explain. I won't do that now. I talked a long time already about the spices in general, the flavors of the spices, and a little bit of the health benefits. So that should be enough for now. Just to say, I use the coconut milk together with the turmeric. You see I have one coconut. I have opened that, and how to open a coconut and to get the flesh out of it. You can watch a video of mine. I linked it in the info box under the video. You will find it there, and together with this, it's a perfect combination. Really, it's flavor-wise also. I was surprised when I first time combined the coconut flesh and the coconut milk with the turmeric, also the coconut oil or coconut cream with the turmeric. I found I can use vast amount of turmeric, and it tasted still nice and fine with the coconut. If I use turmeric without the coconut, there's only a small amount of turmeric and it tastes wild already. So with the coconut, huge amount of turmeric is possible now. Of course, I want to have a good amount of turmeric in my milk, in my golden milk. That's perfect with the golden milk. It's all about the turmeric. It's a classic. So I was glad to find out that it might be a coincidence that the taste is so much enhanced and balanced together with the coconut and the turmeric. So that was nice to find out, and to make it work in a nice drink, I always use dates here, usually to make it sweeter. Turmeric has a very strong earthy flavor, and together with the date, I have here 5 to 7 dates or so. Pitted, of course, that depends on how large your dates are, how sweet you would like it. It's a perfect combination also with the coconut and dates. I like it to go a lot together. In this case, I would prefer the date from the raisin to the raisin. Dates, I would like it here better. What's up to you, what kind of sweetener you like. And of course, show you again, and there it goes in the nutmeg, half a teaspoon here for a liter, and 4 or 5 cloves, not more, at maximum. Here it's a very strong flavor. I tried today because a friend on Facebook suggested for me to try this combination, saying it was delicious too. Okay, I tried today. I had it on my mind anyway to find new combinations with golden milk. So today I will find out finally what it will taste like. So I put half a liter in the blender first, because with a half a liter only, you see the produce is covered nicely, and so it will very quickly blend everything. With more water, I will add that later, with more water it will take longer because all the produce comes up over the blades and it cannot work anymore. So I begin here with a small amount of water and then cleverly add the rest later. Let's see now what it tastes like. But first, of course, I have to filter it through a nutmilk bag. Oh, before I filter it, I check the flavor. Maybe I find something immediately that might be changed, and then I have a chance before filtering. After the filtering, I would have to filter again. I put a spice in there. So let's see the flavor. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, it's so different from the cinnamon and the ginger variation. It's now with nutmeg and cloves, and it's a very nice flavor. Very gentle. I won't put in more. I guess it's enough just to give it a little tinge. Yeah, these spices, nutmeg, both nutmeg and cloves are very strong, as I said before. And so I don't need to take a lot of it. Just give it a little bit of a touch. Of course, you can do that according to your liking. You can more or less. I would say this measurement here, the half a teaspoon of nutmeg and 4 or 5 cloves for a liter. That is a conservative, I would say, that seasoning. So I would, you might try a little bit more. For me now, that I keep it with that because, when you drink something, and sometimes, especially with these strong flavors like nutmeg and cloves, the taste would become later only a little bit. If you are used to the flavor, then you begin to feel it more and more. Because I've never tried this before. I will do. Quick word, in case you don't know yet. This is a nutmilk bag. Sorry, a nutmilk bag. A large one, to be precise, it's a laundry bag, very inexpensive, $1 or so, with the advantage you can pull it all over the brim of the large bowl. Makes it very easy to pour in the milk. So I put it aside, and now I can close the bag. Yeah. The cord here, and then milk it. So this is the pressed milk, and here I have the bag with the meal, the dry meal that can go into the garden for the plants as is, or it can go into crackers. The dry meal without any flavor, almost. So very nice. So we'll pour the milk now, the ready filtered milk, into another container to have it nice and usable. And I show you what it looks like when it flows into a glass. That is a very nice texture. You will see the light and the color is nice and golden, as a golden milk should be. A lot of turmeric in there, a lot of nice flavors here and here. I like this filtered nut milks. They are very nice, and especially on fasting days, they are very nice to drink and to digest. And you can always warm it up. You can blend it a little bit longer. Gets warmer then, and you have a nice warming feeling together with the health benefits, the huge health benefits. If you like to join a Facebook group for us about fasting, do that. Post there once a week. It's called Tree Yoga Moon Fasting. There's a moon calendar and some helpful advice for gentle juice fasting. That's a very gentle way of fasting. But anyway, juicing is always very nice also to find new recipes, to find out about the combinations, about an ingredient, the flavors and combinations, and also the benefits. And you feel it directly if you drink it on a fasting day. If I drink it on a fasting day, I feel much more sensitive. And yeah, there are lots of benefits. If you like that, I would be glad to see you there. You also can subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. Once a week there is a juice and a nut milk or seed milk or so. And give me a thumbs up if you like the video. We'll be glad to have that. And you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter. MD Vegan everywhere. I hope to see you soon.